The city had been struggling for years. A dangerous intersection in the heart of downtown caused accidents almost every day. Cars collided, people got hurt, and no one seemed to have a solution. Engineers, planners, and experts debated endlessly. They put up new signs, added traffic lights, even tried painting the roads differently, but nothing worked. Frustration grew, and people started losing hope. One day, a young child was walking home from school. They had to cross the same intersection every day, holding tightly to their parents' hand. The child saw the chaos, the honking horns, and the near misses. It frightened them, but it also made them curious. Why did this keep happening? Why couldn't the adults fix it? The child asked their parent, but they just shook their head and said, "It's complicated." That night, the child couldn't stop thinking about the intersection. They drew it on a piece of paper, trying to understand. With crayons, they sketched out cars, arrows, and people crossing. Suddenly, they had an idea. It was simple, but it made sense to them. The child showed it to their parent, who smiled and said, "That's cute," but didn't think much of it. The next day, the child decided to take their drawing to a community meeting about the intersection. Adults filled the room, arguing and throwing around complicated terms. The child raised their hand, but no one noticed. Finally, they walked up to the front and placed their drawing on the table. The room went quiet. "What's this?" one of the planners asked, half smiling. The child explained their idea. They noticed that the problem wasn't just the cars or the lights, but the way people and vehicles moved at the same time. They suggested adding a small pedestrian island in the middle and timing the lights differently so that cars and people never crossed paths. The idea was simple, almost too simple, but the room fell silent. One of the engineers leaned forward, studying the drawing. "This could actually work," they muttered. Others began nodding. The simplicity of the solution was something no one had considered before. They had been too focused on complex systems and overlooked the obvious. Within weeks, the city implemented the child's idea. A pedestrian island was built and the traffic lights were adjusted. People watched anxiously, waiting to see if it would make a difference. At first, there was skepticism. Some drivers complained about the changes. But then, something incredible happened. The accidents stopped. Traffic flowed smoothly. People felt safer crossing the street. The child's simple drawing had solved a problem that experts couldn't figure out for years. The city gave credit where it was due, even putting up a small plaque at the intersection to honor the child's contribution. The story spread far and wide, inspiring others to look at problems differently. Sometimes the most complicated issues need the simplest solutions, and sometimes it takes a fresh perspective to see what everyone else has missed.